Thank you for tuning in to Split Pea Scoop. My name is Rachel Marisha Morrison. Before we start, I would love to share with you my credentials to assure you that you're in good hands and good ears at Split Pea Scoop. My Master of Science degree is in nutrition. My Bachelor of Science degree is in adult health and physical education. I'm an American College of Sports Medicine certified group exercise instructor, as well as a certified Zumba instructor. I'm also certified in first aid, CPR, AED, and bloodborne pathogen training by the American Red Cross. I'm also an author of 2 books. My most recent book is entitled Through the Spirit Health Journal, A Loving, Joyful, and Peaceful Spiritual Nutrition Experience, and my first book is called God plus Music equals Joy. Both of my books are available on Amazon within ebook and paperback form. It's time to get started. Episode 17 is called Going for Gold, Greed, and Turmeric. We will explore the spirit of greed and how to counter it through gratitude specifically. The first time I mention the concept of greed in writing is in my book, God plus Music equals Joy. I'm going to read a quotation from my book, God plus Music equals Joy, with the following quote that mentions greed and gratitude concurrently. It says the following: "The danger of placing an emphasis on a scenario is low gratitude for present blessings and high spirits of greed. It is human nature to strive for more. However, when excessive, an individual will be more vulnerable to burnout. It breeds a spirit of tireless ambition and accomplishment." As far as my Fruit of the Spirit Health Journal is concerned, I never mention the word greed or the concept of greed. However, I do mention gratitude 31 times. The first devotional within my Fruit of the Spirit Health Journal, in which I discussed gratitude specifically, was days 49 through 51. The name of this devotional was Joy and Gratitude. The biblical verse that I used to support my point of view within my book, Through the Spirit Health Journal, was 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 16 through 18, which says the following, quote, "Rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you." I'm now going to read the actual devotional within my book, Through the Spirit Health Journal. It says the following: "Gratitude is essential to retaining and cultivating the fruit of joy. An attitude of gratitude yields life aspects to fruitfully multiply the spirit of joy. The consequences of ungratefulness are depicted in the book of Job. Job was someone who was deemed perfect and righteous. He had blessings that others coveted, such as a wonderful family, an abundance of cattle, and a great household. Fast forward to the end of the book of Job. Everything was restored double once he addressed gratitude and depicted gratitude. So, for example, within the book of Job, specifically chapter 7, verses 10 through 11, and also 13 through 14, Job saw his material possessions in order to be comforted in his time of loss rather than praying to God about it. So, for example, his sleep quality was affected, and collectively, we as humans and living species need our sleep. Sleep quality affects our health. And I wrote this in elaboration within this devotional. I said the following: sleep quality affects our health. Our food and beverage choices affect sleep quality. Gratitude is the full circle aura that improves our health and life. God has so many blessings that he wants to bestow upon you. A spirit, heart, mind, or body that expresses ingratitude blocks these blessings. Therefore, we must demonstrate spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical gratitude. Job was restored double from his initial blessings after learning to embrace gratitude. In relation to body image, I elaborate even more with the following quotations. There are diagnoses involved with body image, such as eating disorders and body dysmorphia disorder, that originate from the spirit of insecurity and physical ingratitude. These spirits that may tempt humanity to practice fatal and harmful behaviors such as meal cessation, meal vomiting, extreme meal excretion, overtraining, plastic surgery, and anabolic substances are not in God's will for anyone. Furthermore, body complaints enhance the spirit of lamentation and lack of motivation to make gradual and healthy changes. Complaints originate from the mind. Do not let negative thoughts determine or distract you from achieving health goals. Press forward toward accomplishing your goals. Write down goals and a corresponding thought that exudes gratitude associated with these goals. So, for example, having a goal to be able to walk 10,000 steps daily will be accomplished even faster by demonstrated gratitude for being able to walk in the first place. Another example is having a goal to eat 3 vegetables a day, and this is even easier to accomplish by expressing gratitude for having a home filled with food, access to clean water, and access to groceries. Negative thoughts cascade into the production of negative thoughts. Think thoughts of gratitude to combat this phenomenon. Write down your thoughts associated with gratitude for the next 3 days. Write down physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual blessings that you have. Write down your breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner. What health benefits are associated with that food choice? Express the gratitude associated with that benefit. Let these thoughts and actions resonate in your heart and soul to grow joy within. I am now going to read the second devotional in which I embrace gratitude through my writing. So specifically days 85 through 87 within my book, Through the Spirit Health Journal. And the name of this devotional was Gratitude and Peace Are Synergistic. And synergistic means gratitude and peace work together to benefit us as humans. So the specific verse I used to open up this devotional was Colossians chapter 3, verse 15, which says, "And let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since members of one body you are called to peace, and be thankful." My devotional says the following, quote, "Gratitude must coexist with peace to retain, pursue, and accomplish peace. It is not uncommon for ungrateful people to commiserate together about everything wrong with their lives, about what they do not have, and about what you are not. For example, people who want to improve their lifestyle may complain at first rather than take the plunge to make changes. Complaining drains energy, whereas a state of gratitude enhances energy. The most effective method to express spiritual gratitude is through prayer. Proclaim thanksgiving for what you have and what God has done for you, and pray for the fruits of the Spirit to be cultivated and increased. Express gratitude for your body, mind, heart, and soul. Physical gratitude is best expressed through physical activities and healthy nourishment. Emotional gratitude is best expressed through means to attain delightful joy about the present moment. Mental gratitude involves thinking positive thoughts about your blessings. Peace results from gratitude associated with physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual optimism expressions. Therefore, comparison is the thief of all fruits of the Spirit. How can you feel serene and peaceful if you compare yourself with someone else? How can you express gratitude if you want what someone else has or to be someone else? It is impossible. Be at peace with who God made you to be. Wonderful, loved, loving, lovable, joyful, and now peaceful. I'm now going to read the third devotional in which I embrace and express the concept of gratitude. So within specifically my book, Through the Spirit Health Journal, A Loving, Joyful, and Peaceful Spiritual Nutrition Experience, the specific devotional in which I write down the word gratitude was discussing the fruit of the spirit of goodness. And the specific one was days 163 to 165, goodness is graceful. So the sentence in which I used to explain gratitude was the following. Energy associated with gratitude within the mind, body, heart, and soul assures God's favor and for us to ultimately be the person He wants us to be as we feel our best. The specific biblical quotation in which I use to explain and support this sentence was 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8, which says, quote, "And God can make all grace abound toward you, that ye, always having all sufficiency in all things, may abound to every good work." The next devotional in which I elaborate on gratitude in order to counter greed is the following. Days 193 to 195, count your faithful blessings. So the verse that I use, as previously stated in my previous episodes, was James chapter 1, verses 2 and 3. The consecutive chapter 1, 2, 3. Count your blessings. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall in various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. And then I follow up with the following quotations within my devotional. The unfairness of life can make us discredit our faith. However, this can be combated by declaring and deciding to embrace gratitude. This verse reinforces how it is essential to count our blessings to enhance our faith. So in relation to faith, the analogy that I enjoy the most within the Bible is when faith is compared to a mustard seed. A mustard seed is so small, and that's the only amount of faith you need in order to move mountains. And the specific verse which elaborates on this concept is Matthew chapter 17, verse 20, which says the following. He replied, "Because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." So we can do anything we set our minds to, and anything that honors God's will, and anything that embraces gratitude. And once gratitude is embraced, God can bestow blessings upon us. So, of course, the condiment of mustard is yellow, and gold specifically. And the nutrient that gives mustard as well as curry its yellow color is turmeric. Therefore, when we discuss greed, I use the analogy going for gold, because going for gold on the surface may sound like we're going for more money or more things of value on the earth. However, God wants us to embrace gratitude so that we can counter any type of greed we may feel from going for gold, so to speak. And I will leave this episode here. Tune in next week as I discuss the spirit of pride and how to counter pride. Thank you for tuning in, and stay peaceful.